Rustic wooden sculptures are more than just decorative pieces. They are a celebration of nature's raw beauty, handcrafted artistry, and the rich history of woodworking traditions. These sculptures embrace the imperfections of wood, knots, cracks, uneven textures, and natural grain patterns, turning them into elements of character and charm. Unlike refined, polished sculptures that aim for perfection, rustic wooden sculptures capture the essence of untouched nature, allowing the wood to speak for itself through its organic forms. The beauty of natural imperfections. One of the most captivating aspects of rustic wooden sculptures is how they highlight the natural imperfections in wood. Instead of smoothing out every rough edge or sanding down every detail, rustic sculpture artists embrace the rawness of the material. The cracks, splits, and weathered textures become part of the design, enhancing the sculpture's authentic and aged appearance. This approach creates a connection between the sculpture and the viewer, reminding us that beauty is often found in imperfection. Each piece of wood has its own story. A reclaimed beam from an old barn carries the marks of time, showing traces of the past with every nail hole and weathered surface. Driftwood tells the story of its journey through rivers and oceans, shaped by water and wind. Even freshly cut wood has unique grain patterns and textures, making every rustic sculpture a one-of-a-kind piece of art. Driftwood sculptures, shaped by nature. Driftwood is a favorite medium for rustic wooden sculptures because it has already been sculpted by the elements. The natural curves, twists, and worn surfaces of driftwood create organic, flowing designs that inspire artists to craft everything from abstract forms to detailed animal figures. Some driftwood sculptures remain untouched, allowing the wood's shape to dictate the design, while others are carefully arranged and assembled into larger compositions. A single piece of driftwood may resemble the curve of a bird in flight, the silhouette of a tree branch, or the rugged surface of a mountain. By simply enhancing these natural forms with minimal carving or sanding, artists bring out the hidden potential within each piece. Larger driftwood sculptures can be transformed into dramatic outdoor installations, while smaller pieces make stunning tabletop decorations. Reclaimed wood, giving new life to the old. Reclaimed wood, often sourced from barns, fences, or old furniture, carries a sense of history that adds to the rustic appeal of wooden sculptures. The aged surface, complete with cracks and discoloration, tells a story of time and use. Instead of discarding old wood, artists breathe new life into it by turning it into stunning sculptures that honor its past. Carving into reclaimed wood creates a striking contrast between the aged, weathered exterior and the fresh, untouched layers beneath. Some sculptors use this contrast to their advantage, incorporating both rough and smooth textures into their work. The result is a piece that feels both timeless and deeply connected to nature. Chainsaw carving, bold and expressive. Chainsaw carving is a technique that enhances the rustic charm of wooden sculptures by using bold, dramatic cuts. Unlike traditional hand carving, which involves detailed chiseling and smoothing, chainsaw carving creates rough, expressive forms that emphasize the strength and texture of the wood. Many chainsaw-carved sculptures depict wildlife, such as bears, eagles, or wolves, making them a perfect fit for cabins, lodges, or outdoor spaces. The deep grooves and rugged textures add to their visual impact, giving them a raw and untamed quality. Some artists take chainsaw carving further by incorporating fire-burning techniques to darken certain areas, creating depth and contrast in the sculpture. Live-edge sculptures, the art of natural forms. Live-edge wood sculptures celebrate the natural contours of the wood by retaining its original edges. Rather than cutting the wood into a symmetrical shape, artists work with the existing curves and irregularities, allowing the sculpture to maintain an organic flow. This technique is especially popular in abstract wooden sculptures, where the goal is to highlight nature's unpredictable beauty. Live-edge sculptures often feature smooth, sanded surfaces contrasted with rough, bark-covered edges. Some artists use resin or metal inlays to fill cracks and gaps, turning imperfections into artistic details. The combination of raw and refined elements makes live-edge sculptures a stunning addition to both rustic and modern interiors. Storytelling through wood. Rustic wooden sculptures are not just about aesthetics, they also serve as storytelling pieces. Many artists carve scenes that depict folklore, mythology, or personal narratives. A single piece of wood may be transformed into a detailed relief of a forest landscape, a mountain cabin, or a symbolic representation of wildlife. These sculptures bring a sense of history and tradition into a space, making them deeply meaningful beyond their artistic value. In indigenous and folk art traditions, wooden sculptures often hold spiritual or cultural significance. Totem poles, tribal masks, and symbolic carvings pass down stories through generations, preserving heritage and beliefs through the medium of wood. Even contemporary rustic sculptures can carry a deep connection to the past, whether through the choice of materials or the themes they explore. Functional rustic wooden sculptures. Some rustic wooden sculptures serve a dual purpose by combining artistry with functionality. A hand-carved bench featuring intricate animal motifs, a sculptural wooden lamp with a twisted tree-like base, or a wall-mounted wooden art piece with built-in storage. These creations blur the line between furniture and fine art. Many artisans create rustic wooden furniture that retains the sculptural qualities of their artwork. Tables with live-edge tops, carved headboards inspired by nature, or wooden bowls with organic, flowing shapes all showcase the beauty of raw wood while maintaining practicality. These functional sculptures bring warmth and craftsmanship into everyday life. The influence of nature on rustic wooden sculptures. Nature is a constant source of inspiration for rustic wooden sculptures. From the twisting branches of a tree to the rugged texture of weathered wood, artists draw from the natural world to create pieces that feel alive. Some sculptures depict animals in motion, capturing the grace of a deer leaping through the forest or the quiet stillness of an owl perched on a branch. Others focus on abstract representations of natural elements, such as waves, wind patterns, or geological formations. By working with, rather than against, the natural forms of wood, rustic sculptors create pieces that feel organic and deeply connected to the earth. This connection to nature makes rustic wooden sculptures especially appealing in homes, gardens, and outdoor retreats, where they blend seamlessly with their surroundings. Rustic wooden sculptures have a unique way of evoking deep emotions. There's something inherently warm and inviting about wood, the rich textures, the natural grains, and the organic imperfections that make each piece truly one of a kind. Unlike mass-produced decor, these sculptures feel deeply personal, almost as if they carry the essence of the artisan who created them. Every chisel mark, every curve, and every knot in the wood tells a story, bringing an undeniable sense of authenticity to the space they occupy. The emotional connection we feel toward rustic wooden sculptures often comes from their ability to remind us of nature, history, and tradition. The warmth of aged wood can evoke nostalgia, transporting us to simpler times, perhaps memories of an old family home, a childhood spent exploring the outdoors, or moments of quiet reflection in nature. Whether made from reclaimed barnwood, driftwood, or live-edge slabs, these sculptures preserve the natural beauty of the material and reflect the passing of time. There's something deeply satisfying about owning a piece of art that has been shaped by both human hands and natural forces. Some sculptures showcase smooth, flowing forms, celebrating the organic movement of the wood itself. Others embrace rough textures, cracks, and knots, highlighting the raw beauty of imperfection. These characteristics make every sculpture unique, adding depth and personality to any home, gallery, or outdoor space. Rustic wooden sculptures don't just serve as decorations. They become focal points that spark conversation, evoke emotion, and create a sense of connection between the viewer and the natural world. In an era dominated by machine-made goods, there is a refreshing honesty in handmade wooden art. Each piece represents hours of craftsmanship, patience, and passion, making it far more than just an object. It's a story carved into wood, a tribute to both the artist's vision and nature's design. Conclusion: rustic wooden sculptures stand as a testament to the untouched beauty of nature and the skill of the artisans who bring them to life. Whether they are bold chainsaw carvings, delicate hand-carved figures, or abstract pieces made from salvaged wood, these sculptures celebrate texture, imperfection, and organic form. They remind us that beauty isn't always found in smooth, polished surfaces. Sometimes it's in the weathered grain, the rough edges, and the marks of time. In a world filled with mass production, rustic wooden sculptures offer something rare: authenticity. They remind us that art does not have to be flawless to be meaningful. Instead, true beauty lies in simplicity, in the character of aged wood, and in the hands that carefully shape it into something extraordinary.